Yes, my name is Per Emanuelsson. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Soundtrap, and we're so pleased to be invited to come here to Google. We're actually Google partners, and we've been working with Google a lot, and we'll talk more about that. But we're so pleased to be here. And here I have Ashkan, who's head of education at Soundtrap, and we have Pavel here, and we actually are going to have Vanya online as well from Stockholm, but we'll see that later on. Yeah. Okay, so let's start. With Soundtrap, you make music online, collaboratively, with people from all over the world, from any device. So what we notice, I don't know, are you musicians yourself? Yeah? Or have played any instrument in your life? Yeah? It's quite complex to record music. I don't know if you've opened a recording studio. They can look like this, right? It's like a cockpit. It's going into an airplane, and you just wanted to record your music, right? It's way too complex, way too complex. So it excludes so many ordinary musicians out there, and it excludes kind of just podcasters maybe, or just students that would like to do an assignment in school. The second problem is that you're creative wherever you are. You're creative on the bus, you're creative on your party, but the traditional software, they're installed on a computer, and you have all kind of third-party libraries and plugins and so on that you need to bring. But you're creative at your friend's place and your school facility, when you're home with your parents, and you would like to kind of continue that creative process and flow. And the third problem is that you would like to be collaborative. You don't have that much time, and it's hard to find people to play with. So maybe you're very good at playing hard rock guitar solos, but you're sitting in the woods in Sweden somewhere, and you don't have any double pedal drummers nearby, right? The 20 of them in LA that would just love to play with you. So how can you connect people together? So what we created is an easy to use online audio recording studio where you collaborate from any device. So it works on Chromebooks, it works on Windows, it works on Macs, it works on Android, it works on iOS. You just open up a browser and make music. So you can start up on an iPad on a bus, you save it, you continue on your Mac at home, you invite a friend sitting in Singapore on a MacBook, and you invite another friend in New York sitting on a Chromebook, and then you finish the song on that party when you find that new vocalist they would like to have in your band using your Android phone, right? Cool, isn't it? So here's how it can actually work in practice. Quite cool, isn't it? Yeah. And a poll. Yeah, that's good. Good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we have had a really good growth. We added we released the beta in the end of 2013, and then we added on functionality in this minimal viable product during 2014. And then we've grown from 20,000 users now in the beginning of the year to now soon 250,000, and that's organically growing. It's 50% US, it's actually 80% in the educational is US, but we have such a great community out there making music together. And 35% of all people that go into Soundtrap for the first time, they actually sign up. We have such a good kind of acquisition rate. So now I would like to welcome Ashkan, and he's going to talk a little bit more about Soundtrap and education for Soundtrap. Should we?
Yeah, we can switch places. So something funny happened during this growth period. We noticed that we had no idea that a lot of schools were using Soundtrap before we even had a school product. We just had a Soundtrap for consumers, people who want to make music. And then we saw school after school mailing us like, hi, we're using Soundtrap we use it in music class, we use it to record podcasts, we use it to practice pronunciation in language training, all kinds of uses that we didn't even think about. And we actually were good friends with Google since a long time back, because we were one of the first companies to use technologies that Google were heavily implementing in Chrome. And we were the ones who found all the bugs. So we were helping Chrome to, kill all the bugs, and we became good friends. And we were actually at Google I/O 2014. And after this education hype started with Soundtrap, we figured out that, okay, this is really something that schools need and something that they don't have. And all of a sudden, we got contacted by the American Association of School Librarians. And, in Sweden, where we are, librarians, we don't connect that to music and recording podcasts, but they said, okay, you won the prize of best website for teaching and learning. And we were like, holy shit, it sounds cool. And Per happened to be in the US back then. So he went to this place to get the prize, and there were 20,000 people there. And we learned that, this is a really big organization in the US. So if they like what you do, that's like a stamp of approval for the schools to know that this is something you should actually use in class. So after this, we immediately started focusing on education. So we created a whole new platform just to make it easier for schools to use Soundtrap. So today, we're happy to have over 600 schools all around the world who are using Soundtrap, and we're still growing. And we're going to show you more about Soundtrap for education later as well. And, we don't want to bore you out with some graphs and data like, well, this is the market, and this is the business size, and, this is the blah, blah. So I thought I was just going to show you what our users are saying. And to us, that is more than proof that this is something people really love and really want. So, and also, after this growth period, we got a huge media attention going. So within just a couple of months, when we got the prize in the US, the Next Web wrote, forget GarageBand, Soundtrap is a music app for everyone. And we got more than 35 articles in a very short period. So we're very proud about that too. But as I mentioned, user feedback, that's the only proof we need that this is something that the market needs. So every day we get hundreds of pieces of feedback, and they all look like this. 99% look like this. So this is brilliant. It's replaced Audacity since I got a Chromebook. That's amazing. The easiest music platform I've ever used. And absolutely amazing. I love it. Wake me up. Holy crap, this is amazing. And, sometimes you get that piece of user feedback that makes you realize that what we are doing is actually transforming people's lives and people's relationship to music and sound. And this is something we received from a dear user of ours. And he or she wrote, I have found a fulfillment in my life that I was missing for a long time. It's my life and blood now that I can actually record what I feel. Without it, I would be very sad. And we would be very sad if you left us too, but we don't know who it is, but we hope that person is still with us. So it's really fun to work with Soundtrap when these are the people we get to work with that are using our platform. And as I mentioned earlier, we have a long history with Google. And Per, would you like to continue and talk about the Google technologies?
That was my fault, Ashkan. So we are actually both techies and musicians, all of us in the team. I've been a programmer since my childhood. I ate keyboards, but then I turned into a guitarist, and then I went back to the software industry. So I've been working there for 70 years. The same with Björn, and you've been producing music for DD Testo, and then have a PhD in chemical engineering instead, but that's another thing. But now we're doing music and technology together, and we love that. So, as we said, we were at Google I/O already last year, 2014, and showcasing much of the audio technology you actually can do with Chrome. But we're not just using Chrome, so I'll just go through some of the technologies that we're using here. So, Chrome have implemented the standards in HTML5 called WebAudio, WebMedia, and WebRTC, and they are basically the standards that we use in Soundtrap to make this happen in the browser. So there's no downloadable software at all. It's just completely in the browser. So just open it up and run. And Chrome have implemented all the standards that we need. So WebAudio is used for the the audio graph for us to be able to do stuff with the guitars that I will show you later on, and all the things you hear, the audio. We also have WebMedia, so we can actually play on keyboards like this and get that input to the browser. And we have WebRTC that will enable us to do actually real-time communication with video and audio directly in the browser. And we combine all those three in Soundtrap. Secondly, we have implemented everything using Google Dart, which is a new programming language that Google have developed. And it's a great language. So it's a single-page app that we have done the whole client in, and it's in Dart. So Dart makes it possible for us to do a cross-platform app that is very powerful. So we can write it once in Dart, and then it runs obviously in any browser because it compiles to JavaScript. So Dart is also very good, so that makes it possible to scale the code base, to have a larger team, because it includes normal packages and all those types of structures that are common in other types of languages, but is a little bit hard to do in other types of web languages. So Dart is also very good for scaling up the development teams. And it's very modern. It includes possibilities to do asynchronous programming very easy, streams, and a whole range of other types of modern technologies that you expect from a language, but you don't get in modern other type of web languages. So Dart has been an enabler, and we talked a lot about that in our Google I/O speech, so you can look that up on YouTube as well. It's called Make Music Mobile. And then we run everything on Google servers and Google platform. So we're using the cloud and we're using the computing engine for this. So everybody works in the same product. So Soundtrap is basically like Google Docs, but for music, right? So we need to store the product somewhere. It's stored on Google servers. So that was just a short run through all the technologies that we're using for this. But now we're going to do a demo, real-time stuff. Yes.
Cool, so what we're going to do, we're going to record a whole track from scratch here on stage in maybe 10 minutes. So we're going to make something that actually sounds professional and is basically ready for radio. That's how professional of a sound you can get, even though everything runs in the browser. So we just start making the track, and as we go along, we can describe some of the tools that we're using in Soundtrap.
Yeah. So here's the studio. So what should I do with this, Ashkan?
All right, we can start with a drum beat, I think.
Yeah.
Let's start with a drum beat.
So we have 2,600 loops that you can use directly in the browser. So I can pick, let's say, something disco-ish here. Can you hear that? Is that good? So what do we need now?
Okay, we need a bass line.
A bass line? Okay. Let's put a double bass here. So we got something going, right?
Great.
So what should we do?
We should add a keyboard. I think we should add a keyboard.
Yeah.
And you can add it.
Yeah.
Throwing one there.
Yes. So as we said, we have MIDI support. So we have a whole range of software instruments in here. So we have an analog synthesizer. We have sample instruments as well. So I can just start like here. And that was an analog synthesizer, which you, if you like, you can tweak it. So you have oscillators here. And you can do all sort of kind of tweaking if you're skilled in that, but you don't have to. But we also have, like, what should we take? Like a pad? And then we have like sample instruments. Should we take
check out the jazz bass maybe?
The jazz bass? All right. Well, that's up here, right? Yeah, here. And they actually real sample basses that we have sampled in our studio.
And you know, we want to make music accessible to everyone, regardless of your prior skills in music making. So I, for example, I've been making music for 10 years, but I can't play the guitar. So a while ago, somehow through a friend of a friend of a friend, we got to borrow museum-grade guitars, like really fancy guitars. They let us have it if we returned them in 24 hours. So we took them to the studio and we sampled every sound and noise that these guitars can make, and we just put it right here. So I can get the exact same sounds with a keyboard even though I don't play the guitar. So we do something more aggressive as well?
Yeah, sure. What do you think about this? Yeah, so that's the kind of the synthesizer and the samples, the sample instruments. So there's a whole range of instruments here: guitars, basses, strings, pianos, of course, and Rhodes and whatever you need. But let's add. Should we take and add a pre-made?
Yeah.
Rhodes
So
track?
I mean, we could record a keyboard here, but I want to show you something even more cool, and that is that, you know, every time Per chooses a loop from here, the loop is going to adjust its tempo and key to the stuff you already have in your project. So in other words, all of the 2,600 loops, you can combine all of them with each other. Everything will adjust itself automatically to sound good. So just maybe throw in a Rhodes piano or something in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. So even if that loop and the bass loop actually were in two different keys from the beginning, it would automatically adjust it to the right key, so you can combine all loops together. Right.
So you don't have to care about music theory if you don't want to. You don't have to care. You just create your music and nothing gets in your way.
Yeah.
So I think we should do some collaborations.
Yes.
What do you think?
Sure.
Pavel, are you ready? Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to invite Pavel, our growth hacker, to the project. And what if you add some synth, a lead sound or something, and while you just browse through the loops and find something cool, Per will add a live guitar. So we brought a guitar with us right here. And should we put Pavel in?
Yes, so I just find Pavel here in the community and I invite him to my project. And here we go. So now he can start working on the same project on his Chromebook. So as we said, so I'm using a Mac here, but he's using a Chromebook, and it's works perfectly well on both. So I can actually just, as we said, hook in a guitar, and this one is actually put in just directly into the to the input jack here. And then I chose connect instrument, guitar. So here we have the possibility, I can use this one. Oh, of course we also have a whole range of different presets and effects and amplifiers. So I can just play around with some of them, you'll see. So that's just in the browser, right? And I could do maybe some Like distortion, of course. But I can also play along with the song here. So you can use it as like a rehearsal tool. That's just do your own background and then you rehearse in the browser. But of course, I got to record something here that we can use later on in the song. So I'll take another sound.
Pavel, how's it going? Okay. All right.
Oh, the delay swell. So that's
we got some stuff from Pavel. Should we put that in first?
Yeah, sure. So we got some stuff from Pavel in here, so I can just include that into the project as well. So now it's syncing that in. So now we actually have a lead signal here as well.
Thank you, Pavel.
Well, let's record something then.
Nice.
All right. So now we have a recorded part as well. We can listen to that. All right. Okay. Good.
So, Pavel, do you want to sing? Per, do you want to sing?
Not today.
Okay.
It was too late nights yesterday, I think.
Okay. I'm not singing at all either. So let's. I think we should invite Vanya. She's part of our team too, and she's an awesome singer. And she's waiting for us in Stockholm at the moment, actually. So let's invite her to the project, Per.
Yeah. So I'll do the same thing here as we did with Pavel. I'll invite a friend. We'll find Vanya and just invite her. And here we are. And now she's getting a signal, of course, a message that she's invited by me. And as soon as she joins the project, I will actually call her. So as we said, now she joined the chat, right? And we said that we've done this using WebRTC. So now I'm actually going to do a video chat together with Vanya. Hi, Vanya.
Hi, Per.
How are you?
How's it going?
It's going really good. I cannot actually switch the computer because otherwise you would have seen all the amazing crowd that we have here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi to you as well.
Yeah. So, Vanya, what do you think? We have made a kind of a background beat here and some guitars and some synthesizers. Would you like to put some vocals on that?
Of course. I'm gonna listen to that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it sounds really nice.
Yeah, great.
Okay, I'm gonna add some vocals.
Yeah, do that.
Like that.
She's adding a track now. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
This night I've been on the highway all night counting white lights for you. 'Cause I know I'm in a rush, rush, oh, rush, rush, oh.
That's great.
Nice.
Warm applause. Woo! So, would you synchronize that?
Sure.
Yeah, so now we got Vanya stuff here.
Yes.
So now we have the vocal part here as well popping up.
This night I've been on the highway all night counting white lights for you.
And we could put some, so now this is a completely dry signal, but of course we can put some reverb on that as well. So let's do that.
'Cause I know I'm in a rush, rush, oh, rush, rush, oh.
And maybe a compressor as well.
This night I've been on the highway all night counting white lights for you. 'Cause I know I'm in a rush, rush, oh, rush, rush, oh.
Voila!
Great.
What do you think about that, right? But, and then when you're done, you just save it, and of course you can share it on all types of platforms. So what happens is I save that one, and then it's going to master. So we actually master it on the server and put limiters and all that stuff. If you're a geek, you know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, you don't have to bother. So now it's mastered, but as soon as it's ready, you can just share it on any social platform, or you can actually get it out on SoundCloud, or you can, through our partner SpinUp, you can get it out and actually sell it on iTunes or Google Play or whatever. That's Soundtrap, folks. Okay. So, here it is. Let's listen to it the last time.
This night I've been on the highway all night counting white lights for you. 'Cause I know I'm in a rush, rush, oh, rush, rush, oh.
Sure. And download it, of course. Great. So that's the demo part. So let's talk a little bit more.
Yeah, we can switch. So before we leave you guys, we want to show you one more video. And as we mentioned earlier, so we're very focused on education now. So we're building the product in parallel with the consumer version. We're doing the education version to make it super optimized to be used in the classroom. And of course, last but not least, another Google technology that we're using here is Google Classroom, because Google has built an entire infrastructure for managing students, teachers, assignments, and communication in the school. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel. So Soundtrap is 100% integrated with Google Classroom. So when teachers start using Soundtrap, they have all of their classes, all of their students already set up here, and they can just put their students in a Soundtrap class and get started. And we just created a new video because we haven't gone official with Soundtrap for Education yet, even though we have over 600 schools with us. But we just created a video that will serve as an inspirational kick for schools. And we haven't officially released it yet, but we would love to share it with you guys before we go off stage.
This is for a brighter future.
So for the first time, schools all over the world can be able to create music, record podcasts, do interviews, record documentaries, make background music for their theater shows, and best of all, they can work with each other across the globe, which they already are. So we're very damn proud of what's happening here with Soundtrap for Education. So I guess that's for us.
I think that's for that. That's a good ending, I think.
But we're going to be here, and our computers are going to be here, so if you want to try it out, play around with the keyboard, play some guitars, just join up and let's play around.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you very much.